Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? I hope you'd be fine. This is Think New Syllabus Mathematics Book 2, and today we are going to start exercise 5A of chapter number 5, which is related to sequences and the number patterns. So here in this question, what we have to do, we have to find out the rule and the next two terms for each of the given sequences. So we are going to start from number 1, which says we have a few numbers 14, 19, 24, 29, 34. Okay. So let me give you a hint over here. Whenever you come up with any sequence, what you have to do, first of all, you have to look if the numbers are increasing or decreasing. Okay. So if we look at the very first two numbers, we have the first number 14 and the second one is 19. So it means there is an increase. The number is going up. So what are we going to do? We will simply read until we get 19. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. What am I doing? I'm adding 5 into it. Now I will look that is this being applied between the second and the third term also or not. So I'm going to start adding 5 into 19. So 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So you see, it means every time, what do I have to do? I just have to add 5 into it to get the very next term. So would it be easier for me to find out the next two terms? Of course, I'll simply add 5 into 34 and it becomes 39. And similarly, again, 5 into 39, so it becomes 44. So the next two terms would be 39 and 44. And what would be the rule? So simply, I'm going to write add 5 to each term to get the next term. Simple. Okay. This is how we have to find out the rules. Now comes part B, 80, 72. So you see the numbers are decreasing 80 and then I must have subtracted something into it to get 72 because 72 is smaller than 80. So what am I going to do? I'll start doing reverse counting 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, 74, 73, 72. So what am I doing? I'm subtracting 8. Similarly, let me find that do I have to subtract 8 again into 72 to get 64? Yes, 72 minus 8 is equals to 64 and this continues. So it means what are we doing? We are simply subtracting 8 every time. So in the previous part, we were adding something and now in this part, what we are doing? We are subtracting 8. So we are going to write subtract 8 from each term to get the next one. Simple, this would be the rule. And we are going to apply this to find out the next two terms. So we will subtract 8 from 48, we will get 40. Further subtract 8, so we will get 32. You see? Okay. Now comes 6, 12, 24, 48. So we are going to again add. What am I going to add? I will add 6 into it. 6 plus 6 is equals to 12. Then I'm going to add 6 again. But oh my God, I cannot add 6 anymore. I'll have to add 12. And then the next time I'll have to add some other number that is 24. Then 48. So what is happening over here? It means the rule of addition couldn't be applied. And of course, we cannot apply the rule of subtraction. So what should I do now? We will move to the next two operations, that is multiplication and division. So we'll look, can I read the table of 6 to get to 12 and then so on. So yes, 6 twos are 12, 12 twos are 24, 24 twos are 48, 48 twos are 96, 96 twos are 192 and so on. It means the rule here is to multiply each term by 2. That's all. So what are we going to do? We will again multiply 192 by 2 and we are going to get 384. Then we'll multiply 384 by 2 and we are going to get 768 and so on. That's all. Okay. Now, next, moving to the next part, we have part D, 1600, 800. Again, we can see that the numbers starts to reduce. So what are we going to do at first? We will subtract and see that are we having the same numbers every time or not. So if we have to subtract something into 600 to get 800, it's simple, 800. If I'll subtract 800 from 600, I will get 800. Then what should I subtract in 800 to get 400? It's simple, 400. So it means again, there is no subtraction because the numbers are different. They are not constant. So what shall we do now? We will check division, the last option. So if we look at the sequence, we will find that what should I do now? Which number should I divide 1600 with to get 800? So in this case, what are we going to do? Instead of subtracting 1600 with any other number, we will take the first two numbers and divide the first number with the second number, okay, to find out the rule. So we will cut the two zeros, 8 ones are 8, 8 twos are 16. It means it is divided by 2. Whatever answer I'm going to get. What did I do? I took the first two numbers and found the rule from here. So 1600 divided by 2 is equals to 800. Similarly, 1600 divided by 800 is equals to 2. So now we are going to apply this with the other terms as well. 800 divided by 2 is equals to 400. When I'm going to divide 800 by 2, I will get 400. Similarly, 400 divided by 2 is equals to 200. 200 divided by 2 is equals to 100. So it means this rule would be applied over here of dividing every term by 2. Okay. So what are we going to write? We will write divide each term by 2 to get the next term. So if we have the last number as 100 and we have to find out the next two numbers. So 100 divided by 2 is equals to 50. 50 divided by 2 is equals to 25. What about the very next term? So instead of writing it in points, you can write 25 upon 2 or you can write it as 12 whole 1 upon 2. Okay. Now comes the negative numbers. So don't worry. Just look if the numbers are increasing or decreasing. So if we look at the number and let's just ignore the plus minus sign for a moment and let's see what is happening over here. Let's start with addition. Can we add something into 16,384 to get 4096? Of course not, because the first number is negative and the other one is positive. So let's take, if we can subtract anything into 16,384 to get 4096, no, we cannot subtract anything because if we will subtract anything, we will get a negative number because minus minus will give us a negative number. So what shall we do? Let's take multiplication or division. So if we look at the numbers are not increasing. 16,000 is greater than 4,000. It means the numbers are decreasing. And in this case, students, when you have one of the numbers as negative, the other one as positive, then negative, then positive, then negative, then positive. So always remember, if the alternate numbers are negative, then the rule will involve division or multiplication. Always remember that. There couldn't be addition or subtraction if the alternate numbers are positive and the other alternates are negative. So since we can see that 16,384 and 4096, there is something multiplication or division. How to identify? Do I have to multiply or divide? Of course, student, 16,000 is greater than 4096. So what are we going to do? We will take the first two numbers, divide them, and check what would be the rule. So I'm going to write 16,384 upon 4096. So I'll simply divide 16,384 with 4096 and I'm going to get -4. It means the rule would be divide each term by -4. Therefore, every time when I'm going to divide each number by -4, so once I'm going to get a positive answer and the other time I'm going to get the negative answer. You can check it as well. You see, -16,384 divided by -4. Minus minus cut. So my answer would be positive. Therefore, the next term would be positive. But when I'm going to divide 4096 with -4, minus plus minus gives me a negative answer. So it would be -1024. Therefore, one of the number is positive and the other one is negative. Similarly, when am I going to divide 1024 with -4? So again, minus minus would cut and the answer would be 256. So you see, therefore, one of the numbers would be positive and the other one would be negative. Okay? Acha. So if I have -64 and I have to divide it with -4, the next term would be positive 16. And then when I'll divide 16 with -4, so plus minus minus, and the next term would be -4. You see, students, so you have to be very careful while writing the rule. So what would be the rule? Divide each term by -4. Next, we have again one of the number positive, the other one is negative, but this time the numbers are increasing. So it couldn't be division anymore. Instead, it would be multiplication. So what should I multiply 9 with 18? I'll simply read the table of 9. That is 9 2s are 18. 18 2s are 36. 36 2s are 72. 72 2s are 144. But again, don't forget to write minus sign before 2 because we are getting one of the numbers as positive, the other one as a negative. And you can check 9 multiplied by -2 is equals to -18. You see, but -18 multiplied by -2 minus minus cut would be positive 36. But again, 36 multiplied by -2 give me again a negative number, that is 72. So since I have to write down the next two terms after 144, what will I do? I'll multiply 144 with -2, which would be -288. Okay. And then when I'm going to multiply it further with -2, so the next term would be positive. That is minus minus cut. 288 multiplied by 2 is equals to 576. Okay, students, how easy it is. Just follow some of the tips and tricks and your answer would be absolutely correct. Now, in the last two parts, you will see that all the numbers are either positive or negative. So it means it involves all four operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, any of the four, because the alternate numbers are no more positive and negative. So let's see what is happening over here. So for this, students, always remember, write down the numbers on the number line. So if I write -52 over here, on the number line, what happens when we move to the right hand side and the numbers are negative? So I'm going to write -51, -50, -49, and so on over here. But on the left hand side, what am I going to do? I'm going to write down the numbers that are less than -52, but seems like they are greater than -52. That is -53, -54, -55. Now I will go back to the question and see if the numbers seem to be getting greater or smaller. -59, -66, -73, -88. The numbers are moving to the left hand side. So it means the numbers are reducing. Whenever we will move to the left hand side, it means the numbers are getting reduced. Okay, so it would be -52, -59, -66, -73, -80. If these numbers would have been positive, then they would have been increasing. But since the numbers are negative, it means we are going backwards. And whenever we go backwards, it means the numbers are getting reduced. So what is the difference between each two terms? First, we will identify by getting the difference. So 52 and 59 is 7. 66 and 59, again 7. 73, 66, 7. 80 and 7. So what is happening over here? Are we adding 7 into the terms or are we subtracting? So what we will do, we will write down the terms as it is and check it. Okay. So it would be simple. Minus 52 minus 59. So if I'll put plus over here, a positive 7, it means minus 57 plus 7. Sorry. Minus 52 plus 7. And minus plus minus. So my answer will be minus 45 and not minus 59. It means I have to keep a negative 7 over here because minus minus plus 52 plus 7 is equals to 59. And I'll have to put the sign of the greater number, which would be minus 59. Then minus again, minus 59 minus 7 minus minus plus, and it would be minus 66. So you see, the rule would be subtract 7 from each term to get the next term. And how can you remember all this, students? Of course, by practicing as much as you can. So it would be subtract 7 from each term to get the next term. So what are we going to do to find the next two terms? Minus 80, minus 7, minus minus plus, it would be minus 87. Again, minus 87, minus 7, minus minus plus, it would be minus 94. So the next two terms would be minus 87, minus 94. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. So here the rule was subtract 7 from each term. Minus 100. Now the numbers seem to getting decrease. It means we must have to add something into it. And if you look, you will find that there is a common difference between each two terms of 10. 100 minus 10 is equals to 90. 90 minus 10 is equals to 80. 80 minus 10 is equals to 70. 70 minus 10 is equals to 60. But is it minus? No, it's not. Because if I'll do it like minus 100 minus 10, I won't get minus 90. Instead, I'm going to get minus 110, which is wrong. It means I'll have to do it like this. Minus 100 plus 10 is equals to minus 90. Then I'm going to get minus 90. So I have to place plus over here. It means this time the rule would be add 10 into each term. Okay. So the next term would be minus 60 plus 10 is equals to minus 50. Minus 50 plus 10 is equals to minus 40. So you have to practice these, students, that when the numbers, negative numbers seem to be getting increasing, they are actually decreasing and vice versa. Okay. Now, students, before moving to question number 2, let us understand that for every sequence, there is a rule. And we can describe the sequence using a function, or you can say a formula of nth term. So let's understand that what is this nth term and what are the sequences. Let's take a sequence over here. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, and so on. It's a sequence, and now you can understand that the sequence follows a rule of plus 4 every time. 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 4, 12, 12 plus 4. So if there is a common number getting added every time or getting subtracted every time, so we can say that this sequence is called a linear sequence. And for such type of sequences, where there is a common difference between each two terms, we can generate a formula using Tn is equals to T1 plus n minus 1d, where Tn means any term. You can take any term. T1 means the very first term. So I can write 4 over here, plus n means the position. This is the first term, second term, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so on. So these are called the nth terms. Since we are generating the formula, so we are not going to touch n, t, n, or n. And in place of d, what am I going to write? D means the common difference. That is the rule. So since it's plus 4, I'm going to write 4 over here. Then we will apply the distributive law to figure out that what would be the formula for this sequence. It would be 4 plus 4n minus 4. Now, 4 minus 4 is equals to 0. So the formula over here would be Tn is equals to 4n. Getting my points, students? This is how we have to generate the formula. Now, using this formula, we can find any of the term. Tn means any term at this position. Okay, so I can write it as Tn is equals to 4n. So if I want to find out the term at first, I will write T1. T1 would be 4. Ones are 4. So you see, my first term is equals to 4. This is T1. And 1 means the term at the first position. Then comes T2. T2 means the term at the second position would be 4 multiplied by 2 is equals to 8. So you see, the second term is 8. Now let's see if the third term would be 12 or not. So again, apply the formula. T3 is equals to 4 multiplied by 3, which is 12. So you see, this is the formula that we can generate as well. And we can use this formula to find out any term in any given sequence. So if I want to find out what would be my 10th term, I will write 10 over here. 4 multiplied by 10 is equals to 40. It means in this particular sequence, the 10th term, the term that comes at the 10th position would be definitely 40. And you can check it as well. Students, now it's on you. You have to check it out. So for any given sequence, we can easily find any nth term. This time in question number 2, we are provided with a sequence Tn is equals to 2n plus 5. This is the formula they have already generated, and they are saying just use this formula. You don't need to generate it this time. We are going to learn how to generate the formulas from question number 3. So if we look at it, we will find that we have to find the 5th term. So it would be T5 is equals to 2 bracket 5 plus 5. Okay, it means 2 5s are 10 plus 5 is equals to 15. T5 means the term at the 5th position would be 15 if the general formula for our sequence is Tn is equals to 2n plus 5. And if I want to find what would be the first term of the sequence, then I'm going to find it like this. T1 is equals to 2 bracket 1 plus 5. That is 2 plus 5 is equals to 7. That's all. This would be T1. You see? Now, using the same formula, we are going to find out the the 8th term. It would be T8 is equals to 2 bracket 8 plus 5. 2 8s are 16 plus 5 is equals to 21. It means 8th term would be 21 in this particular sequence, where the 5th term would be 15 and the first term would be 7. Okay. Now, student, using these terms, we can write down the sequence as well on our own. So the second term would be T2, that is 2 2s are 4 plus 5, 9. So the sequence would be like this: 7, 9. T3 would be 2 3s are 6 plus 5, 11. T4 would be 2 4s are 8 plus 5, 13. T5 we have already found as 15. So you see the common difference between each two terms is plus 2. And it's a linear sequence. So 6th term would be 17, 7th term would be 19, and 8th term would be 21. Hence proved that the terms we have got are absolutely correct. We have got 5th term as 15, 8th term as 21. Okay. So you can write down the sequence. Now using the formula, you can generate the formula using the sequence. And after finding the sequence or the formula, we can find any nth term using this formula. Now what do we have to do? We have to find the lowest common multiple, that is the LCM of the 5th term and the 8th term, that is 15 and 21. So what should we do now? We will use the division method, which is the most convenient method of using LCM. So it would be 15, comma 21. We will take 3 first. 3 5s are 15, 3 7s are 21, 5 1s are 5, 7 as it is, 7 1s are 7, comma 1. So the LCM would be 3 5s are 15 and 15 7s are 105. So the LCM of 15 and 20 would be 105. So you can come up with these type of questions, students. All you need to focus is how to find out the sequence, how to generate the formula, and how to use the formula to find out any nth term, any term at any position. So this is, we have completed question number 1 and 2 so far. Inshallah, in the next video, we are going to do a few more questions. Until then, take care. Do subscribe to my channel and don't forget to share it with your friends as much as you can. Allah Hafiz.